I haven't really watched Raw in a very long time. And to be honest, this really isn't so much about a review of the show, even though the show itself was meh. But this is about the ending. And also about a particular video that I watched that was actually in my Club Atlantis feed that I took a look at, and it was from Millennial Smark. Now, I'm not a big fan of the guy, let alone agree with most of the things he has to say, but this is something I have heard from most fans that I don't get. Why in the world are you giving wrestlers so much flack for not going after the main title? You don't have to do that. It's an option. But here's the issue with this. And I know he's going to probably see this in his comments, like a lot of it in his comment feed. But when you book yourself into a corner, which is kind of what WWE did by making Roman Reigns the undisputed champion who can't even fulfill a full-time schedule, for other reasons, I get why. But when you knew about that and you knew that that was something that could not be done, having him have both belts was a major mistake because it brings a lot more to one brand than the other. There's only one title, one main title, which happens to be a mid-card belt, and that's the US title. Y'all know, for those that actually have watched my channel and watched my videos, you guys know how big of a fan I am of the IC belt. The Intercontinental Championship, I have always been a fan. I've always considered that the workhorse belt. I've always considered that more prestigious than the US title, but this is besides the point. The point is, that is the only belt you have on the show. And I'm going to give it to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins deserves a lot of praise for what he's been doing. He's made the US title worth something. Unfortunately, it was something that Bobby Lashley could not do. And as much as I'm a fan of Bobby Lashley, he couldn't do it. But Seth Rollins is actually making something of that title. So if you're going to take a mid-card belt and make it into a top belt, or at least give it the same prestige, I'm for that. Because every title that goes out there, every title created should mean something. Except for the 24/7 belt, which was officially killed after Nikki Cross actually won it that night. Let's be honest, that belt is done. But that's besides the point. The thing is, when it came to the cash-in, it was set up for failure because they chose Austin Theory to get the briefcase in the first place. We all knew deep down that Austin Theory didn't have a shot in the dark of cashing in for any top prize, let alone for the cash-in to be successful. That's something we knew from the jump that would not happen. Because Austin Theory is not a threat. He's all mouth, but no go. We know this. We knew this going in when he won. It didn't make any sense whatsoever for him to win. If you really want the belt to die, you put it on somebody that no one cares about. No one cares about Austin Theory. We knew this from the beginning. How it went down is sad. And to be honest, it's not even about Austin Theory and how it went down for him. I feel bad for the actual briefcase. I honestly liked it when it was on WrestleMania because it gave a lot of the mid-carders not only something to do, but something to fight for. But then they end up making it into a gimmick pay-per-view, which made things worse and made the belt even worth less. Like, every year it started to diminish its value. There's really no mystery of whether or not the person who has the belt, has the briefcase, is going to win the main title or any title of that matter. Now, I think that Prince actually joked about this in the Club Atlantis crew, and shout out to Prince. But honestly, from what he says, makes sense after thinking about it. If Otis, when he had the Money in the Bank briefcase and he went after the tag titles, it would have made sense because the tag titles is the top belt for the tag division. It would have made sense at that time. But when it comes to Austin Theory, in this case, you only have one title. And think about it. Millennial Smark was sitting there complaining about the fact that he didn't go after the main belt, that he should have went after Roman Reigns. Do you know how powerful the bloodline is? Do you know how much clout they have right now? They got goons on either side. They just got Solo Sikoa to be a part of the bloodline. And then, of course, you got Sami Zayn, the honorary Uso that everybody loves. Let's be honest. He's pretty much the main reason why people care now. But you really think that somebody like Austin Theory's got a shot in the dark of going up against Roman? Including Paul Heyman, which he happens to be a goon too. You got all that. As powerful as the bloodline is, you really think that he had a shot to go up against the bloodline with the actual briefcase? Do you know how humiliating it would be to lose to him than to lose to Seth Rollins? The humiliation would have been worse. It would have not been worse for the briefcase. It would have been worse for Austin Theory. He wasn't booked that well when Vince was there. Do you really think it would have been better for him to actually go for the bloodline? Do you really think that anybody would have believed that he had a shot of winning? No! No one! No one did! It would have been dumb on his end. Everybody probably would have been saying it would have been stupid to go up against the bloodline. And yeah, WWE booked themselves into a corner when they gave Roman Reigns both titles, and I still to this day believe that he should have lost one of them at Clash in the Castle. Drew McIntyre should have took one of those belts because Roman cannot even fulfill full-time duties as a champion and for other reasons. And it's not even about that, but if they knew that, they shouldn't have done it. They booked themselves into a corner by having them have both titles, and then you got the Usos with both tag titles. You leave Raw with nothing to fight for. At least the Usos come from one brand to another. We rarely see Roman. Rarely see him. He's probably, every fourth pay-per-view? So tell me this. If he does cash in on Roman, would you honestly believe that he would win? Would you care? That's the biggest question. For people who had the briefcase, you cared a little bit or even more for the person that had it. And the person that lost, there's only one person that bounced back from a loss, and that was John Cena. And that loss was so orchestrated. It was so choreographed. It was sad. You kind of knew that they were going to do that, I guess, to try to build sympathy towards John Cena. But people still hated him regardless at the time. And it really didn't do much for the briefcase either. But the person that people really did care about was Damien Sandow. He did not bounce back after that loss. We know this. He did not bounce back from that loss. And I really don't think Austin Theory is going to either. It's a sad day for the briefcase, and it's definitely a sad day for Austin Theory. But Austin Theory was set up to fail. We knew this. He had no rhyme or reason or shot in the dark of winning. But I highly disagree with Millennial Smart. It's not even about the fact that he was going towards the U.S. title. Because I'm going to literally give a lot of praise to Seth Rollins for what he's been doing, making a mid-card belt feel like a top belt, because that's all they have. It's not even about him going up against the U.S. title, because that's all they got. And you got somebody who has both of them that's barely there. So it doesn't even make any sense to be mad about that. It's dumb to be mad about that. But it's, for me, which makes it worse, is the fact that you're going to take something that should give mid-carders a chance, a hope for them to have that prize if they wanted it, and you're going to reduce it to nothing now. Even if they do put it back on WrestleMania, they got to do something to build it up, to make it feel like it's something again. But it's not anymore. Not after you gave it to Austin Theory, and especially after that horrible loss last night. And the fact that he got up after 10, it shows that he probably missed his cue. Got into the ring, and then Seth Rollins got a second wind, did the curb stomp, and won. It shows that it was already planned out for him to lose. There were already rumors that he was going to lose before the next pay-per-view. There was rumors about that. They've been trying to kill that briefcase for years. And if they wanted to kill it, they did a good job doing it this way. I'm sorry. It's more of a disappointment to me to take those chances away from other mid-carders when they should deserve a shot. But now are people going to care about the briefcase anymore? Are they really going to care who's going to take it, who's going to use it, and how they're going to cash it in? I don't think anyone's going to care anymore. And I think it's because of who they gave it to. Austin Theory.